feel too much like talking today, but you guys have been with me on this journey for the past several months, and I just thought it would be unfair to not share this experience with you. Last night I was hanging out with my wife, sort of debriefing from the day, and about 5 o'clock I got a text message from my boss. It said Fred is dead. No, excuse me. It said Fred is gone. Fred is my boss's boss. Fred is the man that hired me at the company I work for. And he's was an incredibly encouraging, upbeat, uplifting, positive guy. Awesome family man. I had a very high degree of respect for him. When I got Fred is gone from my boss, I kind of threw up a Hail Mary. He likes to play practical jokes on me. Some that are, well, some that he shouldn't. And so I texted in the back, please tell me you're just kidding. He says, I am not. I don't have the words. You know, I don't remember what I did with my phone. I threw it down, I slammed it down, I don't remember. But immediately, I couldn't breathe. I was like hyperventilating, and I started shaking so bad, and I started crying. My wife jumped up, and she did to me what I'm supposed to do to her, and she just wrapped her arms around me. She just held me for a little bit while I tried to get this under control. I was having a very difficult time getting it under control. And then through the rest of the evening, I was trying to work on my railroad, I was trying to do video stuff, and I would just randomly start bawling. And I don't really understand completely my reaction to that, frankly, but there's only been one other time that that's happened to me. And it's back when I was a pastor of a church, and there was one of the homeless people that was part of our church. It was almost all homeless people. His name was Broadway Joe. Everybody loved him. The kids loved him. He was just a fun guy. He was a homeless dude. Pushed his shopping cart around. Didn't smell too good. Matter of fact, he used to come over to our house. We did like a monthly baptism / pool party at my house, and I have a picture of him somewhere. He looks, he's just in the pool, hanging out like a normal person. And one day, I was told, I think I was at church at the time, getting ready to, I think I was getting ready to preach. Anyway, somebody said, did you hear about Broadway Joe? And I said, no, what? And they said, he's in the hospital. I said, well, is he going to be all right? They said, no. Apparently, previous evening, he had too much to drink, passed out, aspirated his own vomit. And by the time the first responders got to him, he was already brain dead from lack of oxygen. I haven't thought about that story in a long time. But it was about a week of him being in the hospital, and we went every day and prayed for him. And I just remember one time I was saying, I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do the pastor thing anymore. I just said, God, please save my friend. And I just started bawling. Then a few days later, I got the news, and same thing. It's like, I fully expected him to recover. I fully expected him to recover. And so now flash forward all these years to Fred, and I just expected, I just knew he was going to come back from this. I'm not going to be the guy that knows somebody who died from COVID. He's like 9 years younger than me. He's not at risk. I guess, well, one of the things that my wife and I kept thinking about is just times like this, you just think it's just petty. It's just senseless. You know, if you got hit by a car and died or something, not that it'd be any better, but it certainly wouldn't seem so innocuous. An otherwise healthy guy gets an extreme flu and dies from it. Anyway, Fred leaves behind his beautiful wife, Christina, and his daughter, Leanne. His daughter is actually a contender to be on the United States martial arts Olympic team. He was very proud of her. He used to go to all of her events, and he'd send us pictures and texts from the events, and we'd all be going, go! It was a lot of fun. So anyway, this is a part of my life that I'm gonna have to, as I've said in an earlier video, I'm not gonna get over this. I don't suspect a wound this big I'll ever get over it, but we don't have a choice but to get past it. I told my team this morning, by the way, my team was a little quiet today, not a whole lot of talking, no laughing, no joking. But I told them basically where I stand, and that is I can just sort of like throw my hands in the air and say, okay, enough's enough, and wallow in my own mourning. Or I can understand that this job is Fred's job. Fred got the job. Fred was the project manager for the job. Fred hired the team for the job. It has been wrought with problems, and I, for one, want to see this through to a speedy and successful conclusion for Fred. That's what I'm going to do.